Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about 5 things that people who've made the move from BC love about Airdrie, Alberta. So if you're thinking about making a move here from British Columbia, you're going to want to watch this one. And before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel because you will not want to miss next week's video about the 5 things that people from BC hate about Airdrie, Alberta. Also be sure to give this video a thumbs up and let's just jump right in. Here in Alberta, we've seen a huge amount of out-of-province buyers in the last couple of years, and a big portion of those have been buyers from BC. And now that many of them have made the move and have lived here for a while, what do they really think about Alberta as compared to life in BC? Well, I reached out to a bunch of past clients of mine who've made the move and various Facebook groups to find some answers, and these were the top 5 most common things that people loved about Airdrie and Alberta in general. And number 1, of course, is going to be affordability. This one's probably pretty obvious. Being one of the most affordable areas in the country, it's a big plus for anyone making the move out here. Alberta is just simply more affordable than most places in BC right now. And of course, the biggest factors in this are the cost of housing, whether that be renting or buying, and the tax savings that you're going to find here in Alberta as compared to BC as well. And Airdrie specifically is one of the most affordable areas around the big city of Calgary in terms of our housing prices here. Other things that people mentioned were more affordable here were things like insurance, since you can actually shop around here for insurance, gas prices, and even vet bills were mentioned a couple times to be quite a bit cheaper here in Alberta. And number 2 on our list of things that people love here is the amount of sun that we get. Calgary is the sunniest city in Canada with about 333 days of sun per year. So whether you're making a move to Calgary or any of the surrounding towns, you're gonna get a lot of sun here. And this is especially true for those people who are moving from the Vancouver area or Vancouver Island. Even though you have to deal with the cold weather in the winter here, most people said it was worth it because even on those cold days, the sun's still shining bright and it's not dark and gloomy outside. Moving on to number 3 on our list, a lot of people mentioned that they loved how friendly everyone was here in Airdrie and just in Alberta in general as compared to where they came from in BC. Similarly to those who moved from Ontario, people who moved from BC have been surprised at how many smiling faces they get when they're walking down the street or people holding the doors open for other people. Just a general better mood is what people have experienced here in Alberta. And it was mentioned a few times that in BC, it just felt like everyone was just living to survive and pay their bills, while here it seemed like people were able to live with a little less stress, which definitely helps anybody's mood. And number 4, and this will be very true if you're coming from the greater Vancouver area, is that people love how little traffic there is here. Those who have made that move here have really enjoyed how many route options they have when they're going somewhere around Calgary or Airdrie. In the Vancouver area, there's really only one main highway, and if there's a crash or during rush hour, traffic can get horrible with no other really good options. Compared to here, where there are typically multiple route options to get to where you're going, but also there's just simply less population as well, which massively helps with traffic. And number 5 on our list, and honestly this one was kind of surprising for me, is that people really love our healthcare here in Alberta compared to BC. This one I was completely unaware of, but I guess it's super hard to get a doctor in BC right now. So when people made the move here, they said it was very easy to get a family doctor with multiple offices around them accepting new patients. So if good access to healthcare is important to you, then that's definitely something to consider. Well, that does it for a list of 5, but I did have one more that I wanted to include as a bonus because it was pretty random and it actually was brought up a surprising amount of times from the people I spoke to. And that is that people seem to love how many grocery stores here have an associated liquor store attached to them in the same parking lot. You'll find this at places like Costco, Superstore, Co-op, places like this, and I guess this was a pleasant surprise for people who moved here to save even more time on their commuting. Well, there's 6 reasons why people from British Columbia love it here in Airdrie and Alberta. If we give it a quick recap, essentially what people are saying is if you move to Alberta, you're gonna save more money and be happier spending more time in the sun and less in the car. These aren't my words, these are words from people who've actually made the move. So if you are considering a move to Alberta, reach out to me and let's make a plan to get you out here and start living your life here in Alberta. And again, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss next week's video about why people from BC don't like it here in Airdrie and Alberta, and maybe I'll just convince you out of the move. But for now, we'll see you in the next video.